everyone! I'm so excited for this episode here because what I am gonna share with you is one of the most exciting steps of my journey as an author. So just quickly recap what's going on. I am the author of Who Told You to Settle? How to Make Extraordinary Your Default, a non-fiction book for ambitious misfits to step out of average and actually chase the life they always wanted to live, because the potential is there. They just have to unlock it and know how to show up as that person every single day. The entire operating system is in my book, all based on my personal experiences. I share more and more about it on this YouTube channel, but this is my format where I talk a little bit about what's happening behind the scenes of this book production. So editing is done, and which means that we are going into book production. Book production entails cover design, formatting, which is also interior layout design, and then it really goes into, yes, of course, when we're talking about the cover, it's cover design, like what you see on the cover front and what you see on the back and on the spine. Interior layout comprehends everything that is like, how does the text look like? And also, do I want to put some images in there and stuff like that? Yeah, so this is where we are right now. And the most exciting part oftentimes is, how is this book actually gonna look like and how did we get there? So first of all, sorry, but I just want to put the camera a little bit more higher. Okay, cool. So how did we get there? I worked with an amazing designer. She is incredible because I briefed her, gave her some inputs. This was last episode, how I imagined this cover to look like, what's my mission, what are the contents in my book. And those were words, right? I shared with her, and then I had a call with her, and she had 3 options for this cover that blow me away. I was like, what is this? How were you even possible to translate my words into those visuals that make so much sense? That was incredible. So pairing up with a very good designer is gonna make your job way easier, because you actually don't really have to think about it, right? You just have to choose which one you like, but choosing is not always the easiest thing. So first of all, I want to show you the 3 options that my designer gave me. So I'm jumping into this here. Those were the 3 covers she showed me. So basically we have option 1 and option 2 that are basically the same one. It's basically the same design, but with the colors inverted. So what here is blue, here is white, and the other way around. And then we have a third one that is completely different, that it follows a totally different approach. It goes more with the title, and then the extraordinary, the subtitle is always the same, right? So what you see here is the core argument of my book expressed in 2 different ways. One is more direct, one is more subtle, but all of them are extremely good. So when I imagine myself, when I looked at them, I was like, Tiffany, oh my gosh, those are all so beautiful, but I don't know which one to choose. It was incredible. I was speechless, honestly. And as you can see, when you will read this book, which is about going beyond average's boundaries, and don't try to fit in, just leave the big, huge size you are. This makes all sense, because settle is crossed out. You don't have to settle anymore. Who told you to settle? This is the entire argument of the book. You should never settle anymore. And here, the who told you to settle is exploding, right? It cannot stay within the boundaries of the book cover itself. So the message is in there, but I was like, oh, how are we defining one? The best way is to just get yourself out of the way and put it up for a vote. Because in the end, it's not about what you like the best as an author, but what your potential readers like the best. Because in the end, they are the ones buying it. And if the cover is not talking to them, they are not grabbing it. And we don't want to have that risk, right? So what I did was, as the two first covers are very similar, or basically they're the same, but the colors are inverted, I put those two up for vote to understand which background color is the one we need to go with. So I asked my beta readers, 10 people, to vote for this or that without showing them the third option. Because here the variable was the background color. We needed to understand which one is the one that wins. So I sent them the two pictures and asked them, which one would you buy? And we've got a 70 to 30 response. We had 70 people, 70% going for this one and 30 people going for this one. So it was very clear that the white background with the saddle in blue was the winning one between the two here. What we did in the second round. In the second round, we compared this one here with that one here. Nobody had seen this one before, right? And this time I went on social media. I did a poll on Instagram, I've got some pictures of it, the ones that you can do as a poll. You put your image and then you say option 1, option 2, super easy. And then over time you see how the votes are progressing. And this is what I was constantly monitoring because I was so excited to see what people think. And here what we observed is that a ton of people voted for this one. It was very clear, my perfect avatar, ambitious misfits in their 20s to 30s, voted for this one. We did have some people for this one too in this, within my target group, but they were definitely more voting for this one. I also went on LinkedIn. So one was Instagram with the poll, the other one was LinkedIn. I did a post there and let people comment. So, and there people also voted, the majority voted for this one. I also sent out a newsletter to my launch team because in there I have the people that are my biggest supporters, and they voted also 60% for this one and 40% for this one. Of course, there were some differences because in my launch team there are also people that are not specifically my avatar but big supporters because they saw me growing up and everything, and they tended to vote more for this one. So it was super interesting to see which cover is speaking more to the avatar or another group of people. And well, in the end, I said before, 60% for this one, 40% for this one. And I mean, the numbers tell the truth, right? And it was very clear that this one is with the crossed out, the saddle very big, the color playing around with the blue and the white is something that people really like. What also got a ton of good feedback is the idea of playing around with kind of handwritten font and normal sans serif font. My signature is kind of handwritten, the who told you, the movement is in there, and seeing all this feedback coming from people, what they think about it, was very interesting to see how the psychology actually of my avatar is. And this is something that tells me as an author when I'm building on my brand. Those are stuff that I really do need to consider whenever I'm creating new visuals for whatever I'm building upon my book. This is extremely important. So what I actually want to tell you with this is that as an author, you've got opinions. It's your baby. You want to decide the name of your baby. You want to decide how your baby's gonna look like, but you need to let it go a little bit. You really need to detach. And in this process of writing Who Told You to Settle, I really, really learned that, because in the end, what you're writing, you are writing for somebody. And this specific somebody has specific preferences. If you are not matching those, you cannot get your message out in the world. You don't have the people that you need on your mission to spread the word about something that could potentially impact so many people. So you need to set your ego a little bit aside and let the numbers talk, and considering also the feedback from everybody so strongly that you get on the right way. And when I'm going back to thinking about the title, that was crazy too. That was crazy, I can tell you, because to come up with Who Told You to Settle, there were many iterations. I had some crazy ideas before this title, some very kind of brutal, direct ideas where I thought, yeah, they are talking like the same language of my ambition, like of my avatar, but at the same time, they're not landing the message. And when I come up with this question, I knew, okay, this has potential, but I was not sure yet. So I put it up for vote with 3 other titles. And yeah, and also there I asked my launch team to vote and give me feedback which one they liked more. And in the end, we ended up with Who Told You to Settle, How to Make Extraordinary Your Default. But like nailing this alone, almost impossible, I would say. So this is why you need a launch team. This is why you need people supporting you and being also super honest with you about what you should actually be choosing. So this was what we've been working on last week. Exciting step. Now we are going to define the back cover. So basically there it's about putting like the author bio, the book blurb, author image, and also maybe a quote. I already have kind of a vision for the back cover, but my designer is working on it, getting back to me soon. And at the same time, the interior formatting is going on, which means that I prepare some visuals. We're putting them in as well. And then we're actually going into real production, which means printing and getting the very first proof copy. At the same time, I also just got my ISBN, those codes which are unique to your book, which means it's getting more and more real. It's super exciting. And I'll keep you updated what's going on in the next couple of weeks. And I'm trying to post weekly so that you've got a recap of what I'm working on. Trying to give you all the shit I'm doing, because I think this can be, for some people, inspiring to get their author's journey started. And for some people just curious about what an author is doing. Yeah, everything is in here in my book diary episodes, and I hope you have fun. If you've got any feedback for this format, you want to see something specific, drop it in the comments. Don't forget about it. The comments are there because this thing is a dialogue. This thing is a mission that we're getting together. So drop comments, make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next episode. Can't wait.